Hello, Cancer. Elsie here to do a reading for you. How are you, my friends? I am here to do a reading for the rest of May. Yeah, we're going to look over the rest of May, see what's coming up for you. And, of course, I'll be back with weeklies in between that. But let's find out what's going on for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to get in on the last day of the private read sale, 10% off the pre-recorded readings, friend. And I'll also tell you about the extended. Let's find out what's going on for you. So what have you been learning, Cancer? With Jupiter in your sign, you've been learning to grow emotionally without shrinking for others. Your emotions aren't a burden, friend. They are, in fact, your compass. In this month, we are going to be talking about your emotions, but we're also going to be talking about career, finance, and love. Let's find out what's going on for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Ooh, okay, the waiting game. Something's coming up in your career, friend. Are you waiting on something? Waiting on a call for a job? Waiting on someone's okay to do something, a new project? It feels like you're circling something that is growing roots. It's not quite ready, but look at that. Look at that sand. It's red. It's almost ready. It's almost grown roots here. So something here is about to appear that you've been waiting for in terms of your career. Let's talk about your finances. We've got recognition and reward. Recognition, you know what that means off the bat for me. It means that you're probably going to end up getting some sort of a promotion or a raise. It feels like recognition, and reward for that could be financial, because we're looking at finances. It feels like you're going to get recognition for partnership, working with the company, working within a partnership, a team, maybe you're leading a team. Let's talk about love. We're going to come back with tarot, of course, right? That's not just, we're not just going with the psychic tarot. Tell me about love for Cancer. We've got, disruption. Okay, so we'll find out what's going on there. Disruption could mean that something is changing or shifting. It could mean that there's a reason that things are changing and shifting, and maybe because you're not willing to move. So something here has to change in order for this to continue to grow, or in order for you to meet someone new, depending on what side you're on there, what side of the wall you're on. Oh, transformation. So look, when I see transformation and the tower together, death and the tower, it means a spiritual awakening, that somebody here is having an ego death. And that's why everything's shifting. Your perspective is shifting on how you love, or because you're in this place where you're learning to grow without shrinking for others emotionally. And so I feel like now it feels like there is some sort of a shift in how you feel, or what your partner is supposed to be like, or it feels like you're getting a different point of view or perspective, friend. Let's talk about tarot. Tell me about Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. We're going to talk about the waiting game. What are you waiting on here, friend? Something that you've been circling, or that has been circling you, and feels like it's not quite ready, but it should be ready soon, possibly in the next couple days or couple months. Tell me about the waiting game. What are we waiting on here in terms of career? We have the Four of Cups, so very interesting. So you are sort of in a place where you feel stuck or stagnant, and you're waiting for something to change. You are the change, but I think that you're kind of waiting for something to change, or change how you feel about something. But right now I think you're in a bit of a comfort zone in terms of your job or your career. We have the King of Swords. Yeah. See, sometimes I often see this when someone's paralyzed in their thinking. And so it feels like, although I'm thinking about it, I'm also thinking about it in terms of my emotions. How do I feel about that? But if I leave my comfort zone, I'm going to have to speak up, and I'm going to have to be really damn honest with somebody. And that means that you're probably going to be making a final decision about something. The King of Swords is not sugarcoating it. It feels like you've been I'm going to say lapping the situation that's in the center, looking at it from all points of view. To me, whenever I see this, Charlie shows me somebody walking around an art museum, doesn't really understand the art, maybe likes it, doesn't understand it, but walking around it to try and see it from all perspectives to see if there's more of an understanding. With the King of Swords here, it feels like you're pretty sharp in the mind. I'm going to say you're pretty smart, and this feels like emotional intelligence as well, that you definitely hold back some of the things you're saying, because your emotions are telling you could hurt somebody if you say things too sharply. Tell me more about Cancer. We've got the Chariot. It does feel like you are waiting to leave somewhere. The King of Swords also has a sharp sword, right? But it's also highly intelligent and somebody who really brings the facts. I feel like you are feeling stagnant in your career or your job, and it's time to go. But I feel like you are keeping it under the surface, right? Because this Chariot energy is your energy. It is Cancer energy, and it's all about discipline. I feel like you want to leave or ready to leave. You're ready to go or make a change. But I feel like you know that if you speak too quickly or speak too soon, that you could damage your reputation, possibly say something out of line. The King of Swords doesn't really care what you feel about what they say, but I feel like with this Four of Cups over here, that's not really your comfort zone. You'd have to get out of your comfort zone in order to be really sharp with your words. The Chariot energy is also discipline, so I think you know that you have to discipline whatever it is that you're about to say. You're playing the waiting game. I feel like there's something here in the future, a change that's coming, and you're about to leave, and maybe you're thinking about how you're going to tell them you're going to leave. What are you going to put in the resignation letter? How are you going to say it? Because I feel like you're about to get some sort of victory, and I think your victory lies in you disciplining your words, I'm going to say. So if you plan to go out in a blaze of glory, I think it'd be better for the next place that you go to not go out with sharp words. We've got the Two of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, the Two of Cups in the reverse it's like a toxic environment. I'm not really feeling comfortable here anymore. The Two of Cups in the reverse they're not really sharing anything. You know, when you get into those toxic workplace environments where they're like knowledge is power, and so you can feel it because you're very feeling, right? You're very psychic and intuitive, and you can feel the tension in the air. You know something's about to go down, but nobody will say anything because knowledge is power. It feels like somebody is not really willing to commit to giving you the information that you need, but you need the details. You need the clarity and the facts. You want to know what's going on, and you're trying to feel it out, wondering, should I leave here or not? So I think that's why you're playing the waiting game. Look, the Emperor is here on the bottom of the deck. And so I feel like you're going to make a decision. So when the Seven of Cups comes in the reverse here, there's no more illusion. I'm not confused. I know what I want. I'm going to move forward. You're taking control and making some sort of really hard decision that you have been lapping for a while. You've been going around and around trying to look at the situation to see if this is really what you want. You're taking your time before you make the actual move. We've got recognition and reward. So I feel like that might be the reason, right? Financially, recognition and reward. You might be in a place here where you're making enough money. You're working on a project that you know is going to bring a bonus. That could also be why the waiting game. It feels like that. Recognition and reward. Tell me about this. Financials. We've got the Three of Swords. You're not getting recognized. You're not getting the reward. It's disappointment that you work really hard, that you bring a lot of things. I was in an environment like that once where I brought years and years of experience, absolutely turned the department on its head and rewrote the processes. They didn't care. No, didn't get me any recognition or reward. Just got me a lot of hard work. And so I think that you're disappointed, possibly. We've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Eeks. Yeah. I think that you're ready to just say to somebody, look, I'm worth more than this. I should have gotten recognition. You should have given me a raise. I should have got a bonus for that project. So I feel like right now you're disappointed that you put in all the hard work and that you really didn't get anything out of it. The Knight of Swords in the reverse is slowing down and thinking about it a little bit. You're really going over some details about a new beginning. I feel like there is seeds that you've already planted, which tells me that you're about to move a little bit slower, a little more practical. I think there is a little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I feel like you will be making more money in the month of May, but I also feel it's going to take a change. It's going to take a very slow moving change. So make sure you have money in the bank. Make sure you have a backup. You know what I mean? So it feels like I feel like you're disappointed with the amount of money you're making for the amount of work you're doing. You're not really getting a return on your investment, right? You're investing your time. You're bowing in front of the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like you are wanting the recognition that you're not getting. And so I think once you slow down and really think about it, disappointment is what comes, because you worked hard because you thought you were going to be compensated. And I don't think you were compensated. Tell me more about finances. We got the Eight of Pentacles. See, it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. And I think that's what's going to happen. I feel like even though they haven't rewarded you or given you recognition, that we have 9 Pentacles here. So it feels to me that what you got out of it was experience, practical experience. You became the subject matter expert. Have you ever been that person in the room that everybody comes to? You're not the supervisor. You're not the manager's manager. You're not the associate manager. But everybody interrupts your day to ask you questions because they know that you're the subject matter expert. They don't listen to the people who are out of touch about what's going on within the department, but they come to you. I feel like that's what you got out of this opportunity, and that opportunity is going to lead to better finances because 9 Pentacles are here. So I feel like you are going to probably plant a seed somewhere else. Maybe you're going already for interviews to trying to find ways to be able to up your finances. So it feels like either a side gig, or you're planting seeds here, there, and everywhere, maybe putting out resumes. It feels like you are going to be able to make more money if this change takes place in the month of May. But I think in the month of May, you're really slowing down, looking over details and saying, yeah, I did learn how to do something really, really well, better than most people. They gave me a lot of training. And although maybe they didn't give you a lot of reward or recognition, I feel like you leave there with a lot of leadership, confidence in your work, and the things that you can handle. I feel like you are about to make more money, because the 9 Pentacles doesn't show up if you're not going to make more money. I think you are probably going to move jobs here, though, because I think you've met the glass ceiling wherever you are. Tell me about this disruption in love. This could be platonic or romantic love. Please keep that in mind. Tell me about disruption. We've got the 10 of Swords. Oh boy. Okay. Got the 4 of Swords. And the Lovers. This seems more like a revelation or a realization. I think that the Tower falls because the illusion has been broken. When the 10 of Swords shows up, it's because you've been hurt or you've been betrayed. It feels like you're just coming to this revelation. It took some time. We've got a timepiece, right? We've got a timepiece and a timepiece. It feels like it's taken some time, and I think that you need the time to heal before you say what you're going to say. But I feel like this disruption energy is everything shifting in the mind. You're no longer forgiving things. You're no longer saying it's okay, don't worry about it. I feel like you lean toward being compassionate and kind even when people hurt you, but I don't think you're doing that anymore, friend. Look at that, the Hanged Man is in the reverse. And when the Hanged Man's in the reverse, you've had some sort of an aha moment. You've already gained your perspective, and I think it's because you gained your perspective that everything shifts. Understand, I don't think this is a physical shift. This is a shift in the mind. This is like, wait a second, that person lied to me. That person deceived me. That person betrayed me. And I've got to heal from that before I make some sort of choice, before I make a choice in the mind to go. I think you're going to stay where you are right now until it's time to make the choice. I feel like this is a really big decision because this person is somebody who I feel you felt connected to, sort of in a soulmate way. You thought this really was your person, but it feels like you are healing from betrayal. And that is maybe this betrayal is what has brought the disruption in the connection. It does feel like that. Everything here is shifting. In the month of May, you're going to be going through a lot of changes and expansion. And you're also going to be speaking up on things that you usually wouldn't speak up about. I'm not saying that you're a person who doesn't speak your mind, because I've never met a Cancer who wouldn't speak their mind. In fact, could just deliver it like the King of Swords. But I feel like all this disruption feels internal, mentally, is what it feels like. You're preparing to either end something or leave, or you've changed so much that you can never go back. It's like you can't unsee what you've seen. One more card. We've got the Ten of Wands. Yeah, you've been carrying it around. It does feel like that you have been carrying it around in the mind, overthinking it. You know you do. You're a pretty bad overthinker for not being someone who's an air sign, but maybe you do have air sign energy. Maybe you're like Gemini or Libra or Aquarius rising or moon or Mercury. It feels like you spend a lot of time in your head. And I feel now you're making a choice to take action on the things that are in your head. I feel like the disruption has already happened for you, but the Ten of Wands tells me, I'm not carrying this around anymore. This is not my burden to carry. So I feel like somebody might be leaving a relationship, leaving a friendship. There is something here that you're unburdening yourself from, my friend. Bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. I feel that you know that the future, oh yeah, look at that. Feels like I think that you know that the future is stable, it's good health, good mental health, good physical health, good financial health. I really do believe that you are going to be making more money coming up in the month of May. If you make a job change, that job change will offer you recognition and reward that you were not getting in the old job, and they will compensate you financially. But it feels like a breakthrough here that you are actually the Queen of Pentacles. You are wealthy. You are someone who is stable and secure. You're somebody who is loyal. You're always willing to help. Like the Queen of Pentacles is the one who is always willing to help everybody in a time of need. And I think that you just want that in return, and you're not getting that. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I think that's in your future energy. I think that's who you're transforming into. So we're going to go into the extended now. And if you're interested in the extended, then please look at the top of all of the comments. There is one pinned comment under every video that I upload. Please click on read more. And when you do, you'll see there's a couple of links there. So if you're interested in coming to the extended, it's in the membership area. Please click on the membership link. If you're interested in getting in on the last bit of the 10% off for the private reads that are pre-recorded, if you want to get in on that sale, you only have until 11:59 p.m. On the 4th. So it does end at midnight on the 4th. So if you're interested in that, please take a look at the Hypsee link. You can also speak to me over the phone, via video, or in text if you'd like to do that. If you'd like a live call with me, we can do that as well. And please look at my schedule. You will get 5 to 75% off. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, for those of you who are not coming into the extended, I'm going to put down 3 more cards, and we're just going to see what your advice might be or what is coming up next. Tell me what is going on here for Cancer. We've got the 5 of Pentacles, and it feels like you are departing somewhere and not feeling bad about it for a second. I'm saying, what looks like the Queen of Cups is here. That's you, right? The Queen of Cups has decided to come to a place of healing. And so it feels like you are okay with detaching emotionally. You're all right with detaching emotionally from either, I feel like it's probably to do with these 2 things that you're detaching emotionally, because you need the healing. You need the balance. It feels like you've been going back and forth, because we're looking at fire, water, fire, water. And water is passive energy and fire is action energy. Do I take action or do I stay where I am? Back and forth, back and forth. So I feel like at a moment of alchemy, when everything's perfect, you will make the decision to go, probably leave the relationship and probably leave the job, because I feel like you're now in this Queen of Pentacles energy where you realize what you deserve. Because you are in your pre-Empress energy, people can't treat me that way. And so I feel like it's time for you to move on in confidence. But it's going to take some slowing down and realizing that you're not exactly in the place that you deserve. I feel like you deserve more, is what it feels like. So I'm going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, then please come join us there. And you know how to get there now. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Thanks, Cancer. Take care. Bye-bye.